Like Antiquarian Raw XD or something. Alright, here's part 2. So, what time is this? 2 hours on the dot. Good stuff. Sleeper. You know it ain't sleeper, dog. Everyone's cool, then is anyone cool? Yes. Everyone that's here is cool. If you don't watch my stream, you're not cool. So this is a very exclusive club. People saying YouTube comment? What? TFTS? No. Though DD1 has been out for much longer, it's also a completely different kind of game. Was DD1 more balanced around the same point in development that DD2 is as an early access? Are there aspects about DD2 that feel more balanced even now? I think DD1 was way more unbalanced through early access, especially at this point. Oh my god, that was loud. What was that? Hey, the Wolf, what's up, dude? Thanks for the gift. Very cool. Congrats, Snorlax. It was insane early access. At this point in DD1's lifespan, I'm pretty sure we still had, like, no corpses. We might have had corpses. And then, had really silly stuff like riposte damage up in the 50s. Those random glitches. It was broken DD1 early access. Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms solo dungeons. Everyone? Yeah. No ending either? No, there wasn't. You could run like 3 dungeons or something like that for a while. Surveys of battle, just look at the background music. Or Dismiss was trash. Dismiss was really bad until Crimson Court? When did Dismiss get buffed? Was it the Antiquarian update? Dismiss didn't used to have riposte on Duelist. And then he got it, and then you could Duelist in rank 1, so you just have riposte up 100% of the time. Yeah, Antiquarian had ridiculous HP on release. Double martyr for immortality because stress wasn't a thing? Yeah. There wasn't a heart attack at first, right? Your stress capped at 100. DD2 is way more balanced at this point in its life. 100%. 100% more balanced. Like, my complaints about DD2 are just like little things that they can fix. And relationships are going to be a tough one, but like stress gain, that can be fixed. Some of the numbers can be tweaked, that's fine. Token system is incredible. I like it a lot. A bonus damage for his point blank. He still does, I think, like 50%. Stop at 100. Remember Red Hook took away from her money mommy? Took from her everything. Versus its flaws, how do you feel about the merits of the token system in DD2? And how does it compare to prod accuracy and dodge percentages used in DD1? The token system blows away DD1 mechanics. No one at me about that crap. Accuracy is trash. What's up, Sean? Thanks for the 5 gifts, dude. I'm sitting here going on my tirade. But accuracy is trash. Dodge was broken for the player. Prot was okay. Prot was cool. Scam train. But tokens offer more counterplay, more thinking. Moves that are bad become good, like flashing daggers is absolute trash, but it becomes better because you can ping off tokens. Like being stuck against 50 prod enemies. I mean, you can get around it. Like damage over time. Like, no team in Darkest Dungeon 1 should be flat damage and nothing else. You should have damage over time. Like, every good DD1 team has, for the most part, if it's not a dodge team, it has a stun or 2. It has decent direct damage, and then it has damage over time. You need all of those things to have a good DD1 team. If you don't have one of those things, then your team sucks, usually. So if you're getting walled out by 50 prod enemies, it's because you're not stunning and dotting them. Like, that's how you get around it. 50% chance for something. Tokens are more thinking. Yeah, that's just for blind, dude. And it's knowing you lost a coin flip is better than like having 92 accuracy against an enemy and not hitting. That feels like absolute garbage. Not stuck in DD1 twice fold, no trinkets for plus amount. Flat scaling instead of percentage. And they got the job done. I think tokens are cool because the game becomes less about stat boosting, more about making smart moves. I agree. Block tokens suck. It's okay if one of them suck. Combo tokens are fun. Combo tokens are amazing. Vuln, like stacking Vuln on enemies when you get crit, like that stuff is cool. Free antiquarians. Can't have dots on every team. What are you talking about? We have to go through the list. Everyone has a dot. Any decent team has one form of damage over time. Promise. In Leper is dealing 1 digits. Well, like not every hero has dots, but everyone, like every team should have one. Common tokens are cool, but they need to expand on them a lot more. Yeah, I'm sure they will. DD1 heroes feel weak in early game, while DD2 heroes feel decent. I don't know, they still feel kind of weak. Playing Leper is tricky, you don't get it. In what, 1 or 2? Well, this has a dot for his friends, true. See, every good team. Every good team has one. Wish there weren't 50% chance for X tokens. I mean, it happens. I can see why you wouldn't like it. I'm not saying you have to, but I don't mind them as much as DD1's accuracy, because DD1's accuracy was a stat tax. Like everyone had to have accuracy trinkets or quirks or battle ballad, and DD2 you don't need that because you can't do much about it. Like the best you can do against like dodge or block tokens or something like that is to do like a cleave move that will ping it off and do something else that's effective, like harvest. Harvest becomes a lot better. What about enabling duplicate heroes on DD2? Will it be good gameplay wise? I don't think so. The game's not balanced around it. Like, can you imagine 2 jesters? My god. 2 jesters, PD, and like Leper, you're not losing, dude. 4 Houndmasters equals best team. 4 Houndmasters is pretty good. D2 heroes feel insanely weak early because so much of their moves are locked behind mastery. Yes. DD1 accuracy was and is horrible. Yes, true. Early game funnel is way worse in DD2 than 1. It kind of is. I think when they balance DD2 more, it'll be easier. But like week 2 and 3 in DD1 are absolute horrible, like horrible feelings. Duplicate heroes out of the question. Yeah. The game's just not designed for it. Encore into Encore. There you go. That's value. Accuracies must have in DD1. Yeah, if you're not capped on accuracy, you're just losing. Like every team in DD1, like I said, how it needs like a stun, a damage over time, and like direct damage, like those 3 things. If like 3 out of 4 people aren't accuracy capped or close to it, then you're going to be like struggling. But yeah, I like DD2 system way more than 1. I like tokens more than prod accuracy and dodge, definitely. And this isn't just for like interacting with the monsters. Like dodge is so freaking stupid for the player side too. Like Space Coke, Man at Arms, Double Antiquarian, stuff like that. That is so ridiculous. That's such a silly way to play the game. Like it wins, you know. Like if I really wanted to get like farmstead achievement, sure I'd do it too. But or like if I really just wanted to beat the game and I wanted to do that, that's fine. I'm not gonna tell people they shouldn't play the game how they want to, but I don't enjoy those strats personally. Gameplay wise, is there anything else notable? Yeah, notably changed by DD2 that I actively like or dislike? Stress healing is more annoying in DD2. I don't like the 4 stress threshold. I think that's really just not fun. Like the game wants to keep you at 4 stress where your team can yell at each other and then stress them out and impact your relationships, and that's just not fun. Like the whole game is played around 4 stress. Which means that Man at Arms and Jester are the best stress healers because they can get under 4 stress. Like self heals can get under it, but Ounce of Prevention can't, and Revelry can't on your teammates. So That's what makes them bad stress heals now. Virtues and afflictions too, yeah. Stress hamster wheel. Yeah, the death spiral in 2 is a lot harder than 1 also. D2 feel that Shrine of Reflection is not interesting after we get all the story? No. But it rewards you with a free points, so that's fine. There are a ton of DPS classes, but for stress and heals, always the same classes, yeah. Which is why I think if they really fix the stress heal on crit, you can make Dismiss your stress healer with Take Aim Plus. And that's pretty cool. I want that. I want to be able to stress heal with crits. Like, I want Grave Robber. I want a well-played Grave Robber or Highwayman to stress heal my team consistently. I want that. There's a reason they plan to overhaul the whole affliction thing? Yes. Yeah. They realize people don't like it, and they're probably not happy with it either at this point. Grand Reflection could give academic backstory. That'd be cool. They could also expand on it. Like, they could just give you, like, a couple extra cutscenes to see how these heroes got from the first game to the second game. Because we don't know how they got to the second game. Why do they all stand at the crossroads? Want to watch you play Grave Robber? Maybe? Safe location with no downside feels like not great in roguelike. Oh, Shrine of Reflection? I mean, that's fair. Just reminds you of toxic teammates in League of Legends. I know, that was my kill, like that line and stuff like that is straight up your ADC yelling at your support. You didn't let me get the last hit on that Ezreal. Want to take a ride, but then someone sends them into some cold-ass mountain. Erdo kind of pretends that DD1 never happened in DD2. Air disappears, heroes just met each other. Take aim, grape shot. That's a good combo. Good combo-roni. Do I have a favorite hero from each game and why? Least favorite, it's Grave Robber in both games. It used to be Plague Doctor, to be fair. But my appreciation for Grave Robber started off as a meme. So I made my crappy tier list, I put Grave Robber in like the top 5, and people said she sucked. And so I made the guide on Grave Robber. And when I was making that guide, I really came to just enjoy her, like how the playstyle of just like set up and blow something up is really fun. She's a complicated character. Like, I know people are gonna say like lunge Shadow Fade and stuff like that, but you actually have to think when you play her, like how you offset your team's positioning. You team build around her differently, and that's fun in the first game. And then in 2, I just like the aesthetic. Actually, in both games, I like the I like that her weapons aren't conventional. Like everyone else has like a sword or a gun or a dagger or a like an actual smith dagger, like a blacksmith dagger, or crossbows, maces, and stuff. Grave Robber canonically uses a sharpened letter opener and like a pickaxe. She's using whatever she has available to her, and I think that's pretty cool. Kind of low lunge too. I mean, that's what it becomes, but like when to lunge in some teams is important, when to Shadow Fade is important. Like I said, there is some thinking with her. Like Grave Robber's thick thighs too. Look. Look. Chains, teeth, yeah. Those are cool too. To be fair, you have to have very high IQ to play Grave Robber. Thank you. That's right. Question about DD1, can quad Grave Robber be good? Yes. Yes, it can. One's favorite. I like Occultist. He's like my second favorite. He's just really fun, and I like that he's an actual spellcaster. I'd say my third favorite in DD1 is either Plague Doctor or Flagellant. Flagellant makes you feel so big brain in DD1, like when you're playing him. Like, yeah, he's hard to kill, and you just hit Exsanguinate sometimes, but like, the more you know the game, the more Flagellant rewards you for it, and I really like that. I like feeling like my thoughts get rewarded, you know? In 2, Grave Robber's my favorite. My least favorites is probably Plague Doctor in 2. I like her in 1, even though she's like Blinding Gas the character, but in 2, she's kind of got more to do, but she's kind of like Vestal Healbot level. Oh, I think Jester's one of my favorites in 2. I think Jester's my favorite character in 2. Like, I enjoy Grave Robber still, like, aesthetically and stuff like that, but Jester feels very fun to play. It kind of gives you the Flagellant effect, where the more you understand the game, the more Jester can do for you, and that's really fun. Don't call PD a Vestal? Sorry. Yeah, Jester's very cool in number 2. Disagree with the PD Healbot thing? That's fine, you can. Jester's fun in both. I don't like him in the first game. He just battled the character to me. Like, you can do other stuff, but your best course of action is hitting battle ballad every time. And like virtue farming. Been any new announcements for DD2? They did a roadmap of how they're gonna, like, what they're gonna patch into the game before release. So we know what the game's gonna look like, which is fun. Just being able to dart around the ranks is cool. Yeah, he's just got a lot of stuff to do. He brings a lot to the team. He has like multiple playstyles that are all like pretty good. Battle with a bad character at the end of it, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can dodge tank with them in the first game, but like everything is like second place to battle and like the effective value of it. And run Chad solo DD1 Jester. Look, dude. Sorry. But like, why would you dodge tank or finale or do all these other complicated things in DD1 or have a bleed build when you can press Battle Ballad and give your team like 2 extra trinket slots? Why? Like, there's no point to not doing that. Does it like speed, crit, and accuracy are things everyone wants, and that wins games. Don't always need those stats. I'm not going into that. I feel like you do. They're just too imperative. Yeah, my least favorite heroes, in 1 it was probably Jester. In 2, my least favorite is, I said Plague Doctor. Hey, Runaway. I want to like Runaway, dude. Just not fun right now. Why do I enjoy Grave Robber so much in DD2 despite her sad tier status? Why do I want her to improve versus simply saying she sucks? Well, I want every character to be useful and good. I like her aesthetic in 2. Like I was saying, I like the improvised weapons. I like the movement playstyle that she has, even though it's not good. And she's a crit character, and crits are fun, right? You just get big orange number, dopamine hit, and there you go. Now with good trinkets, well, until you get good trinkets and stuff like that. Even then, though, like the crit's still good enough. Crit's good enough to run it. Make the enemies waste their turns punching at air. Finale overkill by 29 was fun. Runaway feels like not knowing what role she is in the team, kind of. Yeah. I want them to buff Grave Robber. I want every character to be good. I don't want any character to feel like not fun or worthless. And Grave Robber's not worthless or like outright terrible. It's just like she has some like really big mechanical issues that need to be fixed. Things like lunge plus hitting for 4 damage, that needs to not be a thing. Rep RT being like a 3-turn move essentially is silly unless you want to open with Shadow Fade, or if you get lucky and find a stealth trinket, that's fine. But yeah. But I enjoy her pretty much because of Legacy, just because I liked her a lot in the first game. I prefer the heart attack system from DD1, dying quickly, instead of the relationship system in DD2, dragging things out because there's no death penalty for multiple breakdowns. Yeah, DD1 killed you faster, which I respected. That game killed you a lot faster than DD2. DD2 tries to kill you with like relationship procs, and that really drags it out, and that can be not fun. Some enemies do try and kill you like Pit Fighter, but I don't think you've ever seen DD1 lunge hit for 4. I don't think it's possible unless they have like literally 50 prod. Like, you would need a negative melee damage quirk, an enemy with a bunch of prod, for that thing to hit for 4. And that's like a level 0 Grave Robber. D2 gets so tedious when things go wrong. Yeah. With me on Grave Robber. One of your favorites? Good. Join the church. Damage is not... Wait. Damage is not someone outclassed? Blinder? Oh, we talking about PD? I'm not saying she's not good. Definitely good. But affects Grave Robber by increasing the damage, or the crit damage as a unique mechanic. No, not so much. Like, she just needs passive damage and stealth. People are saying crit, but I think her crit's fine. She needs a way out of not rolling a crit, and she doesn't have that. If she doesn't roll a crit, she has garbage damage. And she needs Shadow Fade to do something that's not literally waste a turn. The Shadow Fade is waste a turn button. People said it was waste a turn button in the first game, and it wasn't, because it gave you so much damage in return that it was kind of like a tempo shift and not a tempo loss. In DD2, it is a straight loss. Literally skipping your turn. Force of DD2 is kind of the Cove. Hard to hit, or hits hard and bleeds, but soft and stress. Yeah, I feel it. Although Cove had some stress later on, like Ghast and Shaman Stress Cleave, but I feel your sentiment. DD1 also didn't have 80% of its enemies have stress on their moves. Yeah. You still support the Grave Robber Church while being part of the Church of Muscle Mommy? Sure. We accept multiple viewpoints of faith. Why is Shadow Fade bad in DD2? It does nothing. Upgraded, you get no damage for it, and then upgraded, you just get a speed token on the fastest character in the game who already has a speed trinket. That's +5 speed, and there are other speed trinkets, so it's like, who cares? D2 fights are already long. What you'd add is the BR prep round. I mean, that'd fundamentally change things. Not saying it's good or bad, but, you know. No bonus damage or crit? No, not on Shadow Fade. Absolutely nothing. But I do like how DD1 kills you faster. So that's good. Stress checks in DD1 could randomly be affliction or virtuous. Do you think the positive or negative pip system is objectively better? No. What's cool about the virtue is that with virtue, something good could come out of something bad. So you could be getting your ass kicked, especially by stress casters, and the game can still try and give you a win. It was a low percentage chance, but it could give it to you. DD2, the negative or positive relationship is guaranteed, and the positive ones can still have negative implication, which is not fun. You do all this work to get like a good relationship with a character. Like sometimes you just get lucky and you high roll some nodes and like get pigs at the first in or something like that. But other times you really work for it, like you let people hit 0 HP and then heal them for like +2, or you take routes that you don't want to because you want to try and farm pips. Like you'll do that kind of stuff, and then you get inseparable and it like blocks half your actions, and that feels horrible. It's like the game punishing you for doing something good. That's really silly. You're trying to avoid hitting 100 stress in DD1. Also true. Like you're trying to avoid it and it still happens, and then you can still get something good. You're not rewarded for it. The game just decided to give you like some help. But DD1 stress game is also kind of out of control, which led to stalling. Like that's kind of what we're missing here. Is DD1 fostered a stalling playstyle. And stalling is not fun. It's effective, it's useful, sometimes you need to do it, but it is not fun. No one enjoys stalling. No one enjoys watching it, no one enjoys performing it. I say no one as a general statement, but I'm sure some people enjoy it. I don't. And I know a lot of people don't either, because when I stall for like heavy mounts in DD1, I lose viewers. Virtues are exceptionally badass, true. You like it? Of course. Love when your PD can't heal because she and Dismas fell in love 3 minutes ago. Yeah. You enjoy it? Stop. Stop it, all of you. Yeah, the stress system was not that good in DD1, but it's better than what we have in DD2. From a gameplay standpoint, one of my favorite biomes from DD1 and why? And then from 2, I like the ruins and the ruins, the courtyard, and the final levels. Like the darkest dungeon. The Darkest Dungeon 1 levels are so cool in terms of how they're presented. And like the dread that they give you the first time, because something some of you might not know is before anything else was added to the game, the Darkest Dungeon was the only place that had the darkest level like exploration mechanic where you got to see it by room without scouting. So you didn't know where the hell you were going the first time or what was in front of you. And that was very cool. That gave it dread. And I like that a lot. I like the enemies, I like the aesthetic. The ruins, I'm just a sucker for like fantasy and dungeons. Like that just gets me every time. And then the courtyard is just a very fun presentation of vampirism, and it's got one of the best songs, which is called, I think, like Bloodletting or something. I love the court battle theme. Color of Madness had the best music in the game, but I do like the courtyard music. No Retreat of Loss, yeah, that too. In the final missions. Shuff, those are the 1 hour Hamlet stall sections. Thank you for keeping me honest. As long as part of the min-maxing gameplay in DD1, which is also somewhat not fun, yeah. I feel like relationship system will become too complex in the future, maybe. Or dare you treat our mortally wounded friend when I have a small cut that's cheating? Yeah. Hippie minions dancing were on fire. Oh, the party boys? Yeah. DD quests hit hard when you go into them for the first time? Yes. Dark Mitochondria is a great track. 52 turn stall on Hookah Crab. I feel like that's just because you didn't bring Blight. That survives for 52 turns. No, I get you. Yeah. The other thing too is the final levels in the first game, you can't do missions in them besides the final mission. So you can never desensitize yourself to it in a quick fashion. Like you have to play them repeatedly, either through mods or over like many files to get comfortable with them. I'm still not too comfortable in the final levels when I play them. Like when I stream it and I get to the end and I have to do the 4th missions, like I've beaten them several times, but there's always like something in the back of my mind like, you know, we could screw this up. Like it is very easy to die here. 60 turn stall on Big Pig. Also like some update to DD at some point to fix stalling, but just dreams, yeah, they're not gonna do it. E2 always a scare for you, really? Oh, the mission, yeah. 1 and 2, if people say 2 and 3 are the hardest missions, I think 1 is actually the second hardest. I think 2 is the hardest mission in the game. I think DD1 is the second hardest. DD1 will clap you. If you do it with mods and stuff, true. DD1 scares you the most? Yeah, it'll kick your ass. Because DD, the second Darkest Dungeon mission, you can beat, like, the team that beats the monsters can beat the bosses. In DD1, when you fight the Shuffling Horror, your team has to do 2 gameplays. It has to have 2 strategies. It has to have the ability to kill frontline enemies and recover. And then when you fight the boss, it has to have the ability to deal with movement. You have to have 2 strategies to beat that, which is very hard to team build for. Which is why Crusader gets very good for that mission. Oh, DD2 much easier than 1? Yeah. But you don't find it as hard as knowing the layout makes it easier? Yeah, once you know 3, like the layout, it's a joke. But the other ones can still beat you. Stun's so good in DD2? Yeah. From a design standpoint, wait, hold up. I'm going too far. So that was 31. 32. Conversely, is there anything Red Hook should avoid when designing the rest of the biomes for DD2? Don't make things that don't make sense. Like, don't make a volcano region. You can do don't do like a desert, but you can don't do like a sand desert. You can still do an arid, dried out region. Like Badlands or something. That could almost make sense. But like a sandy desert with pyramids wouldn't make sense, considering the layouts. Don't do a volcano. Don't do things that don't make sense. They should make an indoor region, like a sprawling tomb, like a mausoleum. They should do that. With different undead enemies. They should do that. Yeah. From a design standpoint, what do you think qualifies a good boss versus a bad boss in DD1 and 2? Oh, okay. this is something I do want to talk about. I'm gonna make a video on this. Can you give an example of a good and bad boss from each game? Yes, I can. I love talking about this. Read chat real quick. Hold up. Desert region is Shieldbreaker's nightmare? Yeah. Floodplains and pyramids. Imagine DLCs is 3 biomes long. Point is that a real desert be far away? Yes, that's it. Avoid stress cleaves? Screw stress cleaves, dude. TFTS, best of being the worst. TFTS sucks, dude. But no. Okay, so an example of a good boss in DD1 is Collector. Collector is a very good teaching tool. Collector can be beaten multiple ways. You can beat it with Mark, you can beat it with just like killing the ads and moving it up. You can beat it with range, you can beat it with stuns. Like, there are a lot of ways to beat Collector. Prophet's a good boss, because even if you build a bad team, you can still beat Prophet. If you have a team with no reach and like 2 lepers, you can chew through the pews over a few turns and kill Prophet. You still have a chance to win. So a good boss in these games is a boss you can stumble into with like a cohesive team that may not match up well against the boss, and they can still win. I think Swine King is good. Yeah, it teaches you to like really pay attention to the surroundings, not just like kill the weak enemy every time. You know, tropical forest over a mountain. Yeah. Collector prey time. Yeah, Collector's very good. Definitely. All DD2 boss is good now. Harvest Child's the best DD2 boss, but like I said, Collector's a good teaching tool because Collector teaches you how to team build. It teaches you what your team sucks at. So if you don't have control or recovery, like if you're missing control, recovery, speed, burst damage, consistent damage, like if you're missing like 2 of those things, Collector will punish you for it. Fnatic teaches you what's your place. Fnatic also trash boss. But yeah, any boss you could wander into and win is still good. So that's why Prophet's good. You can still win with a frontline heavy team. Necromancer, good boss. Siren, good boss. Prue, good boss. Pounder sucks. Pounder's just not fun. Pounder's like, you need reach or you die. So that's a crappy boss. Swine King, very good boss. Miller sucks. Sleeper, one of the worst bosses in the game. Like Thick was saying, Sleeper sucks because Sleeper is just cleave spam. That's it. Like, Sleeper is just, you have to damage race me or I will heart attack or just outright kill your entire team in like 6 turns. And that's awful. Hag, if you stumble into a team that could beat Prophet because it's frontline heavy and you don't have reach, you will lose to Hag because you cannot kill the Cauldron and she'll just kill you for it. So Hag sucks. Hag is also a boss where you are encouraged to not do the mechanic. You are not encouraged to interact with a pot to beat Hag. You're supposed to just rush her down, and that sucks. It's accuracy debuff Sleeper. There are ways to beat it, but my point is it stress cleaves you the whole time. That's not fun. Crocodile is interesting once you know the movement gimmick, but not everyone knows that. This is what happened to you. The Collector schooled you, and it was immediately clear why, and from then you kept in mind when putting teams together. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's a good story. The first phase of Sleeper is okay. The second phase is garbage. Sleeping General D2 has too much health and no range on Taproot is an instant loss? Yes. That's right. General is a very bad boss design. General is like the slog speed of Pounder with the same do you have reach. Whereas Librarian's the same fight as General. Librarian's like, do you have reach? But Librarian will come to you over time. And Librarian will kill you if you don't have enough frontline damage. Yeah, General has too much HP for what that fight does. And that's not fun. Harvest Child's fun, because Harvest Child has like 6 counters, which is really cool. Wolf is a good boss. And are we out of song? The song's over. The sluice. Go. The reason Wolf is a good boss is because it's the same reason that you can stumble into Wolf with a garbage team and still win. Like a team that doesn't have reach, because Wolf will guard the frontliners. So if you don't have reach, you can still hit the guard target and project reach onto Wolf. So he doesn't lock you out of not having a team that can reach him. And he's susceptible to things like you can do direct damage, you can mark him and he goes down. Damage over time is very effective against him. Frontline teams can still beat him, reach teams can still beat him. Shrieker's fine. I don't think it's great design, I don't think it's bad design though. Shrieker's fine. For what Shrieker is, it's fine. Let's turn up what's this interview. Someone's asking my thoughts on like the games, like the narrative for like gothic horror and Lovecraft and stuff like that. So you can check out the person here too. This is the link. So soundtrack is the worst because it doesn't have breeding pigs. Wolf doesn't even get prot when he guards either. Yeah, pretty sure he doesn't. Pretty sure he just literally guards for you. It's like, okay, you can hit me now. Shrieker and damage race boss in general. Shrieker's kind of damage racy, but Shrieker ends the fight after 4 turns. So if you just can't beat Shrieker, it leaves, and that's fine. I like damage race bosses once in a while. Once in a while, that's fine. It's not necessarily bad. It can be a damage race if there are other mechanics going on that you have to worry about. Like Harvest Child's kind of a damage race because you want to kill Harvest Child before the mechanics of the boss screw you over. And you can't ignore the mechanics. You have to have a plan for them. Whereas Hag, you can just ignore the mechanics and kill her. You can't ignore the mechanics with Harvest Child. So you have to have either like Immobilize, Debuff Resist, Indiscriminate Science, kill one meat, not the second one, combo tokens. Like there are a lot of ways to beat Harvest Child. Bear traps, combat items are so good in that fight. After the music track ends, can I put on some DD1 music? I can do it right now. Let's find some hold up. Find some. Wait, no, you guys want the sluice. We'll listen to the sluice first. Hold up. And I'll find it so I have it queued up here. We'll just listen to the album. Okay. Yeah, we have Stuart's channel. So this is DD1 music, true. Seconding Town in Peril. Like using Jester to move your team around with Harvest Child. Yeah, that's a good one too. See, there are a lot of ways to beat that fight. Senescence. Well, that's in Color Madness, right? We'll get to it. But yeah, so bad bosses in 1 are, like I said, Hag, Fanatic. Fanatic is super Hag, so that makes sense why they both suck. Cleave machines like Sleeper and Miller also suck. Best bosses are as much as I like the Flesh, I don't think the Flesh is a great conceptually it's a great boss. Artistically it's a great boss. Mechanically it's an RNG fiesta. But I think Prophet's a very good boss design. Wolf, Collector. Shambler's an asshole. Shambler is not great boss design. Because the ads don't die when Shambler dies. So that sucks. The Pounder's a bad fight. In DD2, the final boss the Denial boss sucks, and Dreaming General suck. That's like 2 out of 4 bosses. Shambler's better in 2. Shambler's actually okay in 2. Either cleave crit your backline or you just win. Oh, Flesh? Shambino? Shambler in 1 is meh. Shambler in 2 is pretty good. There's no reason to heal for 50 to 60 HP. What are we talking about? Oh, Flesh? What are you talking about? Oh, Countess? Countess is pretty solid boss design. Baron is the best boss in the game. I forgot about Baron. No one added me about Baron, dude. Baron's like the best design boss. It cleaves, but the egg mechanic is so fun. Baron's RNG. It's RNG, but it's like more controllable RNG. What about Viscount? Viscount sucks. Viscount's another fight where you can ignore the mechanic and win. Baron has multiple counters. Like, you can beat Baron with like a heavy control team, or like a damage race team, or like a riposte team. So there are multiple ways to beat Baron. Baron also cleave machine. Oh, I know. I said that. The cleave isn't as devastating. Like, Sleeper's cleave is devastating. Baron's cleave is just like, it's checking your death blow if you're not healing when you have the chance to heal. Hounds carry the Baron? No. You realize that about the Baron? Yeah. My whack-a-mole, my strategic turn-based RPG. Baron, very cool. What, Thick? Am I about to get, like, lectured? Viscount showed you how bad his fight can get. Yeah, if you ignore the mechanic, Viscount can just literally, like, 360 no-scope you in, like, 3 turns. What about Crocodilian? The movement is fun. Like, the movement mechanic part of it is fun, but it's not as easy to figure out that that's what needs to happen. And Apex Predator either being 1 target or 3 at Veteran and Champion is not okay. Previous Grave Robber talk inspired you to make a meme. Can you post it there? What, here? Do you need a permission? Siren's mechanic can be bypassed, so not good. I mean, having it bypassed or having a defense against it is fine, but being encouraged to not deal with it is... Like, you have to team build for Siren. You have to go, I can't take, like, heavy damage dealers. Or if I do, I have to be very careful because she can take, like, Leper and just kill me for it. What is this? 403 forbidden, what? It's the bell curve. D1 Grave Robber is a very complicated character that rewards creative thinking, proper team building, and the ability to predict a flow of combat, rewarding you with high damage potential and massive crits. In the middle, just lunge on both sides. That is perfect. That is a bell curve meme, dude. That isn't guaranteed to take anti every time? True. What about Sunken Crew? Yep, you have to deal with the mechanic for Sunken Crew. You have to plan around it. Middle sounds like a Shuff quote. I'm sure it was. But it's entirely true. Both ends of that bell curve are just lunge. Flash only gets Siren. Thick, where are you? Okay. Oh man, I'm getting lost in the weeds, dude. I'm sorry, Nick. I know I'm like hiding these answers in these like 5-minute responses. Let's see. Bosses like the General have a highly specific and singular weakness that reminds you of Baron from Crimson Court DLC. Not sure that's a good thing because it limits who you can even fight these bosses with. Should bosses be impossible or nearly impossible certain comps, or does this hurt the game's longevity in terms of being an RNG-based roguelike? Bosses should not lock out any heroes. Like, some heroes can be less effective against them, but no fight should lock out a hero. That is bad design. Darkest Dungeon and like Dark Souls also, they do a good job of just going like, here are a bunch of tools and here are a bunch of problems. How you get from A to B is up to you. And saying you can't use like this tool or that tool is bad. Runaway and Librarian, yes. That's very bad. Oh, did you ever take Flash to Cove? The enemies there almost bleed immune. I know you're memeing me, dude. Flash and Cove was okay. Especially like Shard of Glass. Next question. Release CC flashbacks incoming. Feeling when Siren charms Leper with revenge buff? Yeah, see, you have to be careful, right? Giving great answers. Suppose you can write them down later if you want. This is very engaging. That's fine. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'll try and write them later too. It'll take me a minute to write them out though. Yeah. Yeah, General's bad because General's like, if you don't have 2 moves that reach, you lose the game. And that's not okay. Harvest Child doesn't... Harvest Child, like, you have to have like 1 answer. You either have to have like movement, debuff cleanse, debuff prevention, immobilize, burst, or at least a team that can deal with being moved around. You need like one of those 6 things. And there's probably more to it too. Combat items, right? You need like a couple of those answers to win that fight. General's like, you don't have reach, you lose this fight. Librarian doesn't fall into that, but I've talked about that. Librarian's also got low enough HP that if it gets to rank 2, you can still damage race it. So that's what I mean about good boss design. Librarian's like, if you don't have reach, he will get there and you can still race him. And it's on you at that point, because his HP is low enough for you to win. You just run away to pull low HP books and finish them yourself? Yeah. Also purge books, that's a good one. Any chance Red Hook reworking some of the bosses before release? I'm sure they can. Was the DLC in DD1 too unbalanced? Are you hoping for better balanced DLC in 2? Shieldbreaker was pretty busted. Flagellant came out of the gate as like the most broken character in the game. Release Flagellant was way above Shieldbreaker's power level. And they nerfed that, but they left Shieldbreaker alone. I mean, you want them to have it as balanced as possible, I would imagine. So if they can make it balanced, I'm all for it, but it's okay if it takes time. I understand. Was it too unbalanced? Flagellant was, but I think after that, nothing had like Flagellant power level. Although Broken Key exists. Some of those color madness trinkets. D2 is not going to have good balance because it's being made by Red Hook. Yeah. Shieldbreaker is busted as she should be. Flagellant was awesome. He was cool. He was busted on release. They changed canon specifically because of Shieldbreaker? What do you mean? I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, the canon boss. Yes, they did. Yeah, when they released Shieldbreaker, they gave Brigand Pounder flat damage reduction instead of prot because Shieldbreaker could pierce it. Super underpowered release Abomination. Can you distinctly recall a single fight run in DD1 that you couldn't believe you survived? Or you was the Countess? Yes. So when I started streaming last year in January and I was doing a Blood Moon run, I got to the first Darkest Dungeon mission and I had like 13 deaths or something like that. Like I was kind of struggling. And I was in a position where I had to try and beat the game or I was not going to win. And so I took a cultist and like a level 4 highwayman. This is how McStab became a meme. And that occultist hard carried the entire run. And the level 4 highwayman did okay. And my occultist virtued because I forgot to put my demon cauldron back on. I took it off because it has lower virtue chance and plus stress. I took it off when I was camping. And I forgot to put it back on, and I got a virtue because of it. Because I forgot to put it back on, so I didn't have the minus virtue chance. And then that occultist, like I said, just won us the entire game. Like, I was going to lose that file if I didn't win that run, and I could not believe that it happened. And I still need to make a McStab video. I'm very behind on that, but I need to do it. We need a Legend of McStab video. Everyone needs to know this man. The problem is I gotta dig up all the clips, because McStab came with like Torn Rotator, and then I was using Sacrificial Stab a lot, and then I went to Cove, and he purged Torn Rotator, and then he got like Precise Striker or something. And he just became a stab bot. I had to try and win the game, otherwise I lose. Thank you. Yes, that is what I said. Your 6 answers been compiled. Are there any monsters that feel cheap in terms of how they fight? Stress, Cleave? Yes. Some of the bosses, Skyver I actually don't hate as much as I used to. I think Madman is kind of cheap. Because Madman has so much dodge and speed that, like, he's getting, like, 2 attacks off, guaranteed. Most of the time. And it's just, like, you have to hold this stress. You have to hold this, like, 20 or 30 stress. Swine Drummer being able to crit cleave, like, crit stress cleave is really, really not fun. Or okay. And, that doesn't, like, Swine Drummer isn't, like, super evasive or like that fast, but just the fact that it can like hit your entire team for like 15 stress is really not fun. Ghoul and DD2 in 1. Ghoul and DD2 is a dick. Ghoul and DD2 getting dodge off everything is not okay. Swine Chopper. Yeah, Swine Chopper feels a bit overtuned. Maggots, no reward, chance of disease. Those and slimes are not okay. Ghouls are pretty bad, yeah. Splody guy is super annoying when there's pink fish on the field. Yeah, you have to hold the pink fish stress and get rid of the thralls. Skyver's a coin flip. Coven Witch that can Virago that can summon mushrooms on corpses. Virago, you have to change how you're playing. So you have to change up what you're doing, but it cannot be fun. I can understand why. I said the word. Most DD2 enemies. Lady's super cheap. Lady is very bad. Yeah. Lady's not fun into. Lady with her like massive damage and stress cleave and stuff like that. Lord being able to just vomit on you on turn 1. Ignite. Oh my god. The whip guys, the Taskmaster in Sprawl who can just ignite on turn 1 and stress cleave you repeatedly. That move doesn't have a cooldown. They've hit it with back to back on me, dude. That's not okay. Speed means she eats livestock and corpses before you get to move, yeah. Maybe with her massive ... damage. Dude, I was trying to carefully pick my words there too. Teleport guy in Darkest Dungeon. I mean, that gets you the first time, but once you know it, you do your best. Hate the lady. Lady feels cheap. Royal natural 46 dodge. Yeah. 7 prot. The 7 prot's just a middle finger to the player. Basically blight immune at like 140, high bleed resist like 100, stun immune. Definitely not okay. The finger guy? Finger has a cooldown. Cultist Priest we can deal with. Finger has a cooldown. That's okay. And it has like moderate dodge and like okay HP, so you can blow it up in like 2 turns. Talking about the lady in the fetter. I was talking about her ladyship. I mean, that one's pretty bad too. Region 1 Shambler count? No. Gargantuan Shambler is very cheap. Gargantuan and Elite Shambler are cheap enemies. I don't think he should be able to roll those modifiers because they apply to the clappers. Shambler can be Gargantuan or Elite if the buff didn't go to the clappers. That'd be okay. Deacon, double Deacon? Nah, Deacon's fine, I think. I've gotten used to Deacon. I mean, your mileage may vary. If you still think Deacon's cheap, that's okay. I'm not saying that's not kind of stupid that he hit you for like 5 stress and, you know, your entire HP bar. But, Deacon kind of did what Collector did for me, where, like, I build all my teams with, like, Deacon in mind. Like, I need to be able to kill Cherubs in 2 turns so I can fight Deacon. That's how I, like, approach most of my teams. Alright, Hail modifier. Yeah. Anything that gets Hail is really stupid. Hail's plus resist, yeah. Cardinal's more annoying than Deacon. Cardinal can be annoying. Elite Deacon's annoying. Cardinal can scramble your team and like do some serious damage, and that cannot be fun. I understand. Anything that has a stress cleave I hate. Like, I am fundamentally against any enemy that can do, like, big stress damage and cleaving you on top of other stuff. So, like, the Taskmaster getting stress, cleave for, like, 2 damage, burn, and ignite being a free action, that is bad. Sleeper, stress, or cleaving your team for, like, 7 blight, really bad. Thrall's okay, because you can, like, prevent Thrall from blowing up on you, and that's, like, on you at that point once you know it. So I get that. Swine Drummer shouldn't be able to crit. Gunner Bandit shouldn't be able to crit with stress damage attached to it. Madman shouldn't have 1,000 dodge. Like, there shouldn't be, you're holding this stress type of enemy. But I guess from their end they feel like there should be, but I don't like that. What do you think Red Hook should do about double-sized enemies? 2 ghouls, 1 woodsman, or 1 ghoul, 1 woodsman, 2 pit fighters. Throw fights with these types of roles have more than 5 turns to complete. Yes. They should just take the modifier, or the road modifier off for that. The time limit, I have mixed feelings. I understand why they have it, but DD2 tries to make everything a damage race, and that's not fun. Like, DD2 punishes control teams, and control teams reward understanding the fights. Is Death Before Dishonor cheap? No. Because it's preventable, and you have, like, the entire fight to deal with it. It's the moves that do that kind of stuff, like Death Before... if a move does something like that, but it's harder to counterplay, that's when I don't like it. Like, Infernal Taskmaster, that's not fun, because it can just ignite... Like, you don't kill turn 1, ignite, and cleaves you. You can't do anything about it. Swine Drummer can't do much about. Gunner Bandits and DD1 sit in stealth, so they're much harder to deal with if you don't have, like, Plague Doctor to lock them down, so that's really annoying. Sleeper, really stupid. And then, Death Before Dishonor, like, you have 5 turns to kill Drummer, so I think it's okay. It's a bomb you can disarm. Immensely obnoxious, because that MFR goes first every turn. Spams marching orders. Yeah, you have to play around it for sure. Stress Burn Cleave was actually introduced due to Crush not being nerfed. You know what? That's fair. That tracks. Size 2 enemies, they can take the 5 turn limit off. Just don't make them possible in the first biome. Biome 2 and 3, you can deal with them, but just take them out in Biome 1. I think that actually fix it. I'd like less damage racy stuff too. Okay, chat, I have to use the bathroom. I've been drinking so much water, I have to pee. I'll be right back. We complain about the damage, dodge, riposte, flame guys yet? We've complained about Sprawl. Dar's protecting himself from combos that involve speed tokens, yes, but you need to work around this, otherwise the fight would immediately lose flavor or challenge, yeah. Bounty Hunter in DD2, we think he's coming soon. He has files in the game, just not like a model and stuff, I think. Aim occupation, Bounty Hunter, and I'm the combo man. No. What are we on? Okay. I like the single-use item system, if only because items count as free actions. Even items that suck can help you heal away dodge armor tokens before attacking with valuable abilities that might otherwise miss or be mitigated. Would it be potentially interesting to have a specialty character built around item harvesting and usage, comparable to the Antiquarian being able to farm cash in DD1? Yes, I think that would actually be a very fun thing to have. I think this is a very cool idea. I have no other context. I would play it. I'd like to see it. Any questions left? It's fine. We still have more content, chat. Don't worry. We're gonna start watching stuff so my voice doesn't get as thrashed. I'm definitely feeling it right now. Which is on me. I haven't streamed this week, so I'm not used to talking this long. Yeah, I love this idea. Let's do it. The stress in DD2 is so difficult to manage, it feels like you need to have good relationships just to survive. I think that relationships should be more optional or varied. How do I feel about this? They should be more varied. I don't think they should be optional because that's kind of like the foundation for the game. They didn't do a great job of it right now, which is why Relationship 2.0 is coming. But they should be a thing. They should be part of the game. They should be something you're trying to work on or mitigate as best as you can. So I wish they were easier to manage, because things like when you go to the inn and you can't use certain relationship building items because two people are pissed off at each other, that's not fun. It's not fun at all. While a part of you enjoys getting a positive relationship pip when healing someone at death's door, having to rely on barks that occur randomly just to survive feels like takes agency away from the player. What do you think? I agree 100%. Claim to be Shuffle FM, yet I've never seen you shuffle or see me on, wait, any radio FM? Oh my goodness. I don't know, man. Look, just don't report me. Moves this portion of drummer should be part of one of his actions instead of like an aura, right? Interesting, but currently you really want to move to gameplay? We'll get there. Yeah. Relationships are too random. I don't like having forced stress and getting like -2 pips on the road because someone yelled at someone else. I really just don't enjoy that at all. It definitely takes agency away from you. I agree, especially when you can't use items to fix it. How big a role should stress play in a run overall? There's no Hamlet to return to, and players gradually build up stress, so should the effects of stress be less severe, or should it be kept the same? Stress management tinkered with instead? They can keep the 4 stress threshold if they just gave more stress healing options. Like, more chance to stress heal from killing enemies would be nice. More chance to stress heal from crits on teammates would also be nice. If there are more ways to get rid of it, that'd be nice. And I think that would fix a lot of it. I think, God, who was it? There's someone that watches the stream and they're in Discord. And I think they found out that there's a stress heal like bark on the road, but it doesn't work. So like you can just get -1 while driving, like -1 stress while driving, and it like doesn't work most of the time or something like that, or it just doesn't work at all. I can't remember. Actually, I think it does work, but like the value's messed up. I can't remember. Or maybe they fixed it. Yeah. I don't want to default to damage percent trinkets each and every time. I want trinkets that are more situational or risky to use. Maybe health, sacrifice, or stress damage, or temporary damage boost trinkets that can break if misused. My mind will be fun to see what's currently available. I want trinkets that like fundamentally change skills. Like I want like a Highwayman trinket that gives you an extra riposte charge or something like that. Or like Man-at-Arms, when using Defender, guards the entire team instead of just one person. Like instead of 2 defense tokens on one person, 1 defense token on the whole party. Just stuff like that. Stuff that makes you pick different moves and change what you're doing. Because right now, just like flat resist, flat damage, and flat crit and flat HP, those don't do enough. Leopard trinket that makes Chop cleave the entire team. Lunge becomes powerful. Give Lunge +2 damage. Give Occultist the +2 minimum healing trinket. Do it. Why not? Change heal from 5% to 50 instead of 0 to 50. Dark Impulse trinket's also not great. Yeah, there's only like 2 decent ones. So they need better trinkets overall. They don't even have to have downsides. I know people want downsides to like play around against and stuff, and that's cool. I'm down for it, but they don't necessarily need that to me. Tyler went wild with this +5 debuff for resist trinkets, yeah. Trinkets in DD2 can be so much more interesting, yeah. God, I had an idea too. Like I wrote some down. Forget what it was, but like a runaway trinket, like one of her super rare trinkets would be like, apply Firestarter to the whole team. Or like lower the damage by 1 or something like that. Bit of talk on Discord about giving each move 2 options for mastery. That'd be very fun. That'd be very cool. They should. Like plus damage and like crit or plus effects. Like how cool would it be if Open Vein went from like what it's normally mastered as, like more flat damage, more crit, but then like leave the bleed the same, and then the other mastery is like more bleed damage and like lower speed and give it the old debuff, right? That kind of stuff would be okay. Tokens, but you have to upgrade first. Stagecoach item. Oh, do stagecoach items have good design? Not really. Multiple mastery options would be so cool. Yeah. I think cool trinket would be reduce Highwayman damage, but make him combo and or vuln enemies, turning him into a fast-moving setup character. That'd be awesome. That'd be very good. Do the returning classes feel different enough from their DD1 counterparts to justify bringing back more of the old gang as playable characters? Spraying Echo. Yeah. I didn't even hit him. I just sprayed in his general direction. But let's see. Who plays Leper? Kind of plays differently. Jester plays very differently. If they can make all the characters as fun as like Jester and Occultist, then sure, they can bring back old ones. But I feel like Man-at-Arms didn't change too much. I feel like Highwayman didn't change too much. I feel like you have Highway Robbery and like different buttons, but the core loop of Highwayman is still like riposte and do damage. You have take aim, but that's like, you know, part of do damage. Man-at-Arms is still like riposte and block and stuff. Save Echo, he needs to stop being a butthead. As possible to consistently clear Blood Moon Torchless in DD1. You have to have a good opening 10 weeks. And then you can be okay. And new moves need a few tweaks, yeah. Crush. I think Crush needs some nerfs. It's really limiting the design space. Take aim and start blasting, yeah. New Hellion plays very differently. Instead of spamming Bleed Out and Iron Swan, you spam Hellion and toe to toe, yeah. She's got more self-sufficiency, which is cool. Also, is the music too loud? It's kind of loud in my ear. Like peeking on the bar. To say this, we're like 35 minutes into this one. They can bring back old characters. I'd like more new characters, though. I'd rather have more new characters than old ones. But I say that because my favorite character is already in, so I don't have to like wish for her. As of now, Runaway is DD2's first brand new character. The design of the character feel creative enough, in my eyes, to hint the quality of heroes we can expect down the line. I think her foundational ideas are really good. Like, she has some cool support moves, she has like some dancing, then she has burn damage, like all that's cool. She has Cauterize, which is, you know, a good move. Smoke Screen is pretty fun. I think they can make other characters that are cool. So I do like what they're... It's just like a numbers thing. Like, the numbers and some of how it plays out mechanically just isn't good. Yeah. How do I feel about seeing an aquarium being turned into a watering mini-boss? I shouted. I remember. Like, I specifically remember, like, going, what the hell is happening? You predict more DD1 characters being led down the road? I think Flagellant and Abomination will be enemies. And maybe Bounty Hunter. I could see those three becoming enemies. Like the trophy that burns enemies on crit, it's very strong. Game won't be balanced until Crush gets removed. Alien Healing changes things, yeah. Not convinced A-Bomb's still alive, he probably isn't. Who knows? One idea you had was rent specific allies. Think the dog from RE4, someone you can rescue from an encounter that randomly swoops in to help out later. That'd be fun. In DD2, I think it'd be a hard fought rescue from a Cardinal or Shambler. Only have your new friend potentially save you from a failed DBR check once a run. That could be very cool. This is definitely some like roguelike stuff here. And, you know, it's a rare event that would give you something to do. How many heroes would you like to see by the time DD2 releases? 13. 13 or 14, I think we're getting 12, but 13 would be nice. Should playable heroes be able to have whatever comps they want? Or players be able to have whatever comps they want, provided they're skilled enough? Or is that too difficult to balance? You mean like using doubles? I don't think we should have doubles in this game. I think that just fundamentally takes away from what the game's trying to be balance-wise. But you should be able to pick who you want. I think you should be able to unlock who you want too. Like level 3, you just get a hero unlock token, so you just pick who you want. Because like the main complaint I heard from like a lot of people was they'd see Leper at level 12 and go, I have to get to level 12 to play my favorite character. Just random characters? Okay. That could be fun. Personally, just like enemies having free actions despite there being no mention of it. Yeah. At least at first, I feel like the readouts should become more transparent as you continue the encounter, or to encounter special enemies, communicating more monster info as part of the meta. Yeah, Red Hook does this thing where they starve you of information and disguise it as challenge. And I don't like that. They did that in the first game, they're doing that in the second game. They're trying to like deny more info to you, so there's more you have to remember, and that like rewards player knowledge, but at the same time, it makes it very hard to figure out what's happening when you first play. So I don't like that. I don't mind the game having free actions as long as they're not like as absurd as they are, like the Sprawl enemies getting Ignite, which heals them, and then new moves that they immediately use that are way stronger. I don't like that. That'd be like the Courtyard enemies using Thirst, transforming, and then hitting you right after. Like, what if Mosquito hits you, you know, does damage, stress, transforms because he used the Thirst, and then stuns you right away on turn 1 before you do anything? No one wants to fight that. So that shouldn't be a thing here. What they're doing with relationship and roadworks. Don't you get a list of enemy moves in DD2? Yeah. Or meaningful events in the future, or with future consequences, make for an interesting way to design a roguelike? Yeah. Shuff pit fighters need to burst you down to Death's Door. They do a good job of that. Literally takes less text to write out percentages than small chance of whatever. Yeah, it does. Like, I don't like that. They need to like explain what the quirks are doing and stuff. This conflicts with the philosophy of hiding info from the player and in the Gungeon Dark Souls. But having to stop the game just to double check various factoids you experienced before can be tedious. What do I think? Yeah, I don't necessarily like it. There's hiding info from the player, like narratively, can be good because that's just like the nature of the game and the lore and stuff like that. Hiding mechanics from the player that get them killed is not okay, because if something kills you in a game, you need to be able to look back at it and go, what killed me? How did this work? And how can I not succumb to that in the future? And this game doesn't do that. Like, if you get killed by something, like if you don't pick up that Ignite's a free action, then you just, you know, and you die to it again, like you're gonna keep dying to it until like you either finally notice or someone tells you. Being able to holistically combine multiple abilities and items with the token system or other clever tactics such as critting Proc stress heals feels a lot more rewarding than OP abilities like Howling End. Conversely, certain abilities take too long to set up and get crippled by one dodge or armor tokens, such as Finale. Is there a happy middle ground? The big damage moves like Finale need to have some kind of fail-safe put into them. So like Howling End, you can still get through block if the enemy blocks. Same with Burning Stars. If the enemy blocks, you can still do something about it. Finale just whiffs. If the enemy has dodge, you're blinded, you just whiff. And Howling End, I'm okay with whiffing because you just hit it. Howling End is a Darkest Dungeon 1 move where in DD1 you just slam your highest value ability every single turn. And Howling End is that. You slam Howling End when it's up because it's a high value move. Burning Stars you have to build up, Finale you have to build up, Grave Robber stuff you have to build up most likely. So I'm okay with those being easier to pull off if I'm investing mastery and multiple turns into them. Dark Souls tells you if a weapon deals strike damage or slash, kinda. Let's be real, no one would ever figure out Ignite has only a can't be used on turn 1 restriction on their own. It took us a while to figure that stuff out. Like, we had multiple streams where we discussed Ignite. Howling End, yeah. Howling End can get screwed by dodge, I don't care, but like, Finale should either get through dodge or like punch through death blow or something like that. Like, with combo, gets through death blow. Double damage, gets through death blow. Just do that, you know? But, if a move takes multiple things to set up, it should have less ways to screw it over. Or it should just do more damage. Nor Deathblow would be nice in DD2? Yeah. Ignoring Deathblow makes sense considering Circus? Yeah. You fan of the idea of Finale ignoring DBR? Yeah, and it's not like it'd be... Like, the worst thing you would do is like, you know, kill freaking General from 30 HP, but you know what? I put mastery points into that. I should be able to do that. Night takes time, unless a witch ignites every enemy. Yeah. Yeah. Finale has 160 accuracy in DD1, should ignore dodge and blind. You know, that's a good point too. Finale doesn't miss in DD1, not without some help. Like, Finale can miss, but it's pretty hard to make a miss. I do like the idea that you can like stack moves and effects to get like really big results. That's fun. That's very fun. Howling End just needs a nerf, honestly. D2 currently doesn't have a sliding difficulty scale. How big of a mix-up will this be towards balancing the game as it currently exists? I don't think it'll be that hard. It's just gonna be a stat slider, most likely. Like, it'll just be a scaling thing where like Biome 1, the enemies get 10% more damage and HP. And then Biome 2 or whatever, and then Biome 3, they get the same thing. Like the same bump. Or like, the better way to scale difficulty would be that the enemies get new moves the farther you get in the game. But they're not going to do that. Or new enemies show up the farther you get in the game. That's easier for them to do. So like scaling stats, more enemies, more moves, that's how I would do it. The more moves is probably the hardest one to do, so I don't expect them to do that. Thanks for the interview. No problem, dude. Where can they find me? They can find me at youtube.com/ I guess C for channel / C/ShuffleFM, or just /ShuffleFM, and then twitch.tv/ShuffleFM, @ShuffleFM on Twitter. That's me. And thank you, Nick, for the content. Very cool, very fun. Everyone thank Nick. And then check out the thing here. Interview took me 3 hours, dog. My God. Oh. Very fun. Yeah, I'll write you something easier to get through. Probably tomorrow. It was a fun interview. Yeah, it's very fun. Right. What's up, Cap? Thanks for the 9 months, dude. Didn't even write a message. Thank you. Let's play some Final Fantasy 14 this weekend. Yo, thank you, Duncan, for the gift. Get it, Echo. Bah. I love watching this one. It wiggles his butt. You're an artist, so you draw him. You can draw me to promote the interview. Thank you. I will take all fan art. I gotta do something with it. I've got like 2 pictures of fan art so far. I gotta like put them in a nice spot. We're gonna turn this off for a sec.